Hello everyone, it's Commentary Bot 5 back with another commentary video, and boy, it's not a happy one. I will, just say that right off the bat. This is, I don't know, I didn't really know what else to do. I haven't made a commentary video for a while, so I thought, might as well just share my thoughts on, kind of things in general right now. Yesterday there was a mass shooting in Boulder, Colorado at a grocery store where 10 people died, including a cop, I think. And, a few days before that, there was a mass shooting in Atlanta where 8 people died. And it's got me thinking a lot about, like, death. Because it's like, death is just this thing that everybody has to confront, but nobody really kind of talks about in, like, a normal social setting. It's kind of this thing. And when these mass shootings happen, I feel like, especially in America now, we're just like used to it. Like, you don't really think much about it when you see it. And, a few days before the Boulder shooting, and it was after the Atlanta shooting, there was a guy in Minnesota, the state where I live, that had a gun and was shooting at cars on a highway. He didn't kill anybody, but he was still shooting at cars on a highway just randomly on 494. And 494, for those of you who don't know, is actually kind of a major roadway here, and I have traveled on that a lot of times throughout my life, and you don't really think about it. Like, you just drive. When you get in your car and you drive, you don't think, I'm gonna die. And you could get in a car accident, you could get shot, you could, like, all these things, and you don't think that, though. It just happens, and that's it, you're dead. And so it's kind of hard to explain what I'm thinking, but basically, like, these people that got shot at this grocery store, what do you think they thought? Like, I'm gonna die today getting a bag of fucking chips? Like, how awful would that be, just to randomly die doing some mundane thing you do every day without thinking about it? If that even makes sense, it's been in my mind a lot lately, and I had a dream a few days before the Boulder shooting about a mass shooting, which I think the Atlanta and 494 thing were in my mind, but I think I witnessed something in my dream that was like a mass shooting. And I woke up the next day with this, like, just fear, this intense fear of, like, dying in a mass shooting. And then the Boulder thing happened at a grocery store, and I was like, oh my god, this is basically what my greatest fear was, like, over that day, where I was just like, what if I die doing something that I don't even, like, think twice about doing? And it's I don't know, I don't want to repeat myself, but it's just so bizarre to think about. Like, I think everybody who is alive and healthy probably views themselves as, like, some invincible being. Even I do. I would say that I definitely do. Like, you're the main character in a movie, and nothing bad can happen to you, like, mortally bad. You might have shitty things happen, but you're not going to be, like, worrying about dying. Especially if you're young and healthy. And I think 3 of the people that got shot at that grocery store were in their 20s, and I think one of them was younger than I am right now. So I don't know. It's just like processing these things over and over and over. I mean, there's been mass shootings going on for years, and I've grown up in this culture of mass shootings, and they've just become, like, so normalized. Like, nobody's fazed by it, nobody cares anymore. And, like, The Onion, the satirical news site, just reposts the same article every time there's a mass shooting. And it's like just these things where it's, like, so insane and, like, weird, but we all just kind of go with it, and we don't really think about it until, like, it could happen to us, or it happens to us. And I'm sure the people that went grocery shopping or were at a spa didn't really think they were going to die that day, and they do, and they just get killed by some random asshole with a fucking gun. And it's like, that's it. And I'm not, this isn't meant to be political. Like, it's not even political. It's just processing what's happening. And I'm definitely not trying to make this about me. This is definitely, like, obviously victims and families, like, yeah, thoughts with them. But this is just, it's so weird to think about, and nobody really seems to give a shit. Like, in a week, nobody's gonna give a fuck about the mass shooting in Boulder. We're just gonna move on, and then the next one's gonna happen, and then we're gonna move on, and then the next one's gonna happen, and nothing's probably gonna change. Which, even if things were to change, I don't know what changes to make. I'm not gonna act like I have the answers to solve mass shootings and gun violence in America, but it's just like, it's most people are struggling. They're, working a shitty job. They're clawing their way through life, and I am insanely like privileged to be where I'm at and like exist the way I exist and live the way I live or whatever. And I have, a lot of opportunities, and I'm healthy, and all these things. But I guess at some point, like, you kind of have to ask yourself, uh, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, people live this way, they do all these things. Even I've been through, like, I've worked shitty jobs, I've gotten this far, like, I'm getting an education, like, I'm doing all these things, but it's like all completely meaningless if some dude walks up to you and you're buying some Mountain Dew and shoots you in the fucking face. Like, it just, everything is just, it seems meaningless. I still want to like see a positive change in the world I live in the society I live in directly. Like, I feel like a lot of these things aren't that much to ask for. It's so weird. It's such a weird time to be alive. I think the internet, not to get all Ted Kaczynski on everybody, but has just completely ruined society. Like, it's made people stupid, it's made people paranoid, it's driven them insane, it's inspired acts of violence and terrorism. It's just fucked us, and I think it's fucked us to the point where it's beyond repair. Like, especially with misinformation and like all these targeted campaigns to like brainwash people into thinking a certain way or voting a certain way, or you know it's just, it's ruined us, and I don't really think there's any way to come back. And our society as it exists now is just I don't want to say meaningless, but it's like there's no, it just seems like there's no point to anything, and it's full of shitty crazy people, and I, I don't know, like, obviously there is good in the world, but it's just getting harder to find, it seems like. And then this pandemic too, it's like everything is so weird. Everything we do, no matter what happens, it doesn't matter. Like, we're gonna die. So I guess I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Life does not need to be as hard as we make it, especially in the richest country in the world. Like, it does. We have problems that we should not have. We should be helping other countries that are way worse off than us. Like, I don't know. I don't want to get preachy. It's just, it's weird. It's a weird thing. I don't really know what else to say. I don't really have much more to say. So I'm going to end it here.